Hey, fourth grade, it's Mrs. Spears. This is your homework video for Thursday, September 17th. This is lesson 1.3. It starts on page 17. This is comparing and ordering numbers. Now, we're taking what we've learned about place value from the last few days, and we're going to use that to help us compare numbers to see which one's bigger, smaller, using some stuff that you already know from last year too. Sorry, so I'm on page 17, and I'm going to start with this first example problem. Grand Canyon National Park in Arizona had 651,028 visitors in July 2008 and 665,188 visitors in July of 2009. In which year did the park have more visitors during the month of July? So they do try to trick you a little bit in here. There's extra numbers in here that you don't need. You don't need these 2 years to do. You're not going to compare the years. You're going to compare the number of visitors. Okay? So this is how many visitors were there in July 2008. We go back to the problem. July 2008, they had 651,028. So 651,028. In which year did the park, okay, how many visitors were there in 2009? So that's also in the problem. 2009, there were 665,188. Okay, so these are the two numbers we're going to compare. The first example uses a place value chart. I think this is probably the easiest way to do it. I'll show you a different way on the next page, but I like this method a lot, using a place value chart just like we've been using this week. You can use a place value chart to line up the digits by place value. Line up the ones with the ones, the tens with the tens, and so on. Compare these two numbers together. Write them in the place value chart below. So I'm going to write July 2008. I'm actually going to write the year, like right next to it, just to help me remember which number goes with which year, just to label them. So we're not comparing these numbers here because that's not what the problem's asking us to do. I'm just using these little labels right here to help me remember which one goes where. So July 2008 was this first number up here. I start my ones place and I put all the numbers in going left. Just in case there's some left over, I don't accidentally put them in the wrong one because I started in the other place. So your commas in between your periods. And then in 2009, okay. So it says start at the left, compare the digits in each place value until the digits differ. So like I said, I started on the right to fill them in, but you're going to start comparing by the biggest place value first. Because it's a little misleading if you start with the smallest place value. So start with the biggest one and then work your way right. So it says compare the hundred thousands. So if we compare hundred thousands, these guys are the same. So that is not helpful to us. And then it says compare the 10,000s place. Well, this one, the 10,000s is a 5, so there's 50,000 there. This one, the 10,000s place is a 6, so there's 60,000. So because this one is bigger than this, that makes this whole number bigger than the other one. Oh, sorry, I forgot to do this part. 600,000s and 600,000s, that was the first one. Those are equal to each other, but this is the one we were just talking about. So because the 6 is bigger than the 5, 6 10,000s is bigger than 5 10,000s. So we're going to use this symbol. Remember, the open side chomps up the bigger number. If you learned that from old grade levels, you're always going to face the open side towards the bigger number. The digits, let's see here. Since 651,028 is less than 665,188, there will be more visitors in July 2009 than July 2008. Okay, so that answers the question, because the question wants to know which year did the park have more visitors. But in order to figure out which year had more visitors, you had to compare the number of visitors. So because this one had the bigger number of visitors, 2009 is your answer to the problem. Okay, so like I said, you have to compare but you had to do that before you could choose a year because the question wants to know the year. All right, turning the page to page 18. Another way you can do this is to use a number line. I do think this one's a little more challenging because you have to draw number lines every time you use it. So it's up to you which strategy you use, if you use the place value chart from the last page or if you use a number line. I'll do the number line with you so you see both examples, but then you can choose. So use a number line to order 10,408 and 10,433 and 10,416 from least to greatest. Okay, that's important information, least to greatest. So it says locate and label each point on the number line. The first one is done for you. 10,408, that one's already on here, okay? Then I've got 10,433. So I've got 10,400, 10, 20, 30. So 33 would be 1, 2, 3. So 10,433. That one's on the number line now. And then I've got 10,416. So 10,400, 10,410, 20, 22 is too big. So I go back down here. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 10,416. So that's this one. So it says numbers to the left are closer to 0. So the smaller numbers are down here, bigger numbers up here. You know that from last year. So the numbers from least to greatest are 10,408, 10,416, and then 10,433. So they put them in between the symbols like this, so you can see that this one is bigger than this one, which is true. That one's bigger than this one, but this one's the biggest of all of them because it's all the way to the right. So like I said, you can use a number line to order numbers. If you have more than one number, you can still use the place value chart. So you just have to stack them in threes instead of just 2 like that was on the chart. So let me do this timeline or number line problem with you, and then I'll do these guys with you, showing you with the stacking method, because I think most of you will probably use the place value chart, or I like to call it the stacking method because you stack them on top of each other. But anyway, back to this number line. It says compare 15,327 and 15,341 using the number line. So I'm going to find 15,327. So there's 300, 310, 320, okay? And now I gotta find 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here is 15,327 and 15,341. So I got for the 40s, here's the 40s, and 41 is the next one. Oops. There we go. So now we can see that this one's bigger than this. So 15,327 is smaller, so we got a point away from that guy. And this one is bigger. 15,341 is bigger, so we have to open the symbol to that one. So with these ones, it's really helpful to stack them because it's kind of sometimes it's easy to get lost in the numbers. So I'm going to stack them like I did with the place value chart. That way you don't have to draw the chart every time. As long as you stack them up according to the ones placed with each other, then they'll line up just fine. So I've got 631,328, and I'm going to line up the ones places and work my way over, just like I would have in the chart. Okay, and then we start comparing. Biggest place value first, get those out of the way. They're both 600,000, so I can't use those. This one has 3 10,000s, this one has 4 10,000, so this one is the bigger one, which means I have to open my symbol to this whole number right here. So I can open it up to this guy. Same thing, I'm going to stack this one. I got 708,561 and 629,672. So I've got my hundreds place. Oh, this one is 700s, this is 600s, which means that this one is the bigger one. So I can open up the symbol to that one. Come over here. 56,991, 52,888. So I'm going to stack those. I'll do it down here. Okay, start with the biggest place value. Fives cancel each other. I got 6 and 2. 6 is bigger, which means that 56,991 is the bigger number. Now, this is where things get a little tricky. This one only has 5 digits in it. This one has 6 digits in it. So that's why it's really important to line up your ones places, because regardless of how many digits a number has, unless that number is 0, every number will have something in the ones place. So that's why we line it up by the ones place. So I'm going to write my first number, and then I'm going to put my other number starting with my ones place. And by doing it this way, you make sure that you actually compare the right place value to the right place value. If you were to scoot these over and put the 9 under the 1, then you would be comparing the wrong place value. You'd be comparing a hundreds place value, 100,000s place value to a 10,000s place value, and those aren't the same. You have to compare same value to same value. So for this one, this is a 1, and there's technically a 0 there because there's nothing there. 1 beats nothing, so that means that this one is the bigger one, and this is the bigger place value. Okay, like I said, if you'd accidentally scooted those over and put the 9 under the 1, you'd have been like, oh, the 9's bigger, so that means that this one's bigger. But this one only has 96,000. This one has 100-something thousand, so that's definitely much bigger. You can also use this method to compare and order more than 2 numbers. They did this one with a number line at the top, but it works the same way as this one. So if you stack them, okay, works the same way. So I look at the biggest place value. The 10,000s are all 2s, so that one, we got to go to the next one. So then I've got 0, 1, 0. The 1 is the biggest one. However, this says, oh, this one says greatest to least. So I can do the biggest ones first, which is this one. So that would be 21,150. So go to the next place value. This one's out of the running because I already used that one. And then I'll compare these guys. This one has 800, this only has 600. So this one is the next biggest. Which means we're left with this one. So 20,650. Make sure you pay attention to the directions. They will try to trick you because they will switch back and forth. If they say from least to greatest, it still works. You just have to go the opposite way. So you'd have to go from the smallest, find the smallest one, and then find the next smallest one, and the next one from there. And so then the biggest one's at the end. So just pay attention to what order it is and use that to help you with this. We'll practice this more in class so that you can see some more examples of it both ways. If you have any questions, let me know in class tomorrow, and I will see you then. Bye.